Chat is
All right. All right, let me
Good
share the
morning,
screen.
everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharissa. On behalf of the Canadian Helper Society, I'm pleased to welcome you to our session on navigating City of Kitchener resources. This practical workshop is supported by the City of Kitchener, demonstrating their commitment to ensuring all residents can fully access and benefit from municipal services. Your city offers an impressive array of services, programs, and resources designed to enhance quality of life for all residents. However, finding and accessing these resources online can sometimes feel like navigating a maze. Today's session will transform you into confident digital citizens who can effortlessly tap into offer from library resources to recreation programs, from city services to community initiatives. We're fortunate to have Dr. Hamed Vahabi returning to lead the session with his unique combination of technical expertise as a senior engineer at G. Vernova and his extensive training experience. Dr. Vahabi excels at making digital navigations accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Yes, Doctor.
Thank you. Let me share the screen. Can you see my screen now?
yes.
All right. So, hello again. Thanks for joining our fourth session of Learn How to Access Online Services. Today, we'll start with answering your questions and then continue with file management, especially on cloud storage. And then we'll move to the City of Kitchener resources. A lot of very useful information available in municipal uh, websites. We'll cover most of them. And then at the end, hopefully, we have time to go to AI tools, and probably one of the most important one, which is ChatGPT, will be introduced. Well, the first question we received was, how can we protect ourselves from scams when using any online services? Here are a few tips I listed here. First one is, most of them are kind of discussed in our previous sessions, but it would be good to have a list of them here and cover them one more time very quickly. So the first one is, try to strengthen your digital defense, meaning you have to use strong passwords, multi-factor or two-factor authentication system, and then update your device and browsers and apps frequently and regularly. You also need to stay skeptical, meaning whenever you receive any email or message, try to double check it, see if it seems too good to be true or not, or if there is any unsolicited offers or not, or if it gives you a kind of urgent feeling, it push you under pressure or something like urgency to make a reaction or not. If it is the case, then probably it's a scam. Next, you need to recognize the phishing and fake websites. We discussed about it. Compare the domain of the email address. When you receive, for example, an email claiming that that email is coming from a company and give you an offer for something, for example, compare the domain of the email and the URL of the company. If they are not the same, most likely it is just a phishing attempt. Take a look at that HTTPS and the padlock icon on the URL of the company. Make sure they exist. If it is the case, then that URL would be more trustable. And be careful about the suspicious links and unexpected attachment in that message. Do not immediately click on those links and attachment without thinking whether it is needed or not. Next thing is the safeguard of your financial information. For example, you have to be careful on sharing your credit card and bank information on unverified websites. Preferably use PayPal and Apple Pay for your payments, and also you need to keep an eye on the bank alerts for suspicious activities. We'll discuss this in more detail when in our future session when we discuss the banking's online banking stuff. But in your bank account, you have the ability to um, ask the bank to send you some notification whenever someone is sending any money to your account to receive or taking some money, or any activity in your account would be kind of monitored and you'll receive a notification on them. So keep an eye on these notifications from your bank account. And next thing is you have to verify before you trust, meaning when you receive uh, an email or message, again, claiming that it's coming from a company with an offer, just Google that company yourself and or the service yourself before making any payment or sharing any information with that message. Okay. You can also read the reviews of that on that company and the services on independent websites, which usually is very different from what the testimonials you may see on the website of the company itself. And the next thing is if you receive a message or email, for example, from a company with a very generous discount, you have the ability to contact the company and ask whether that message is legitimate or not, valid or not, right? So um, that is another option for you. Next thing is what you need to do is you have to limit what you're sharing, meaning do not overshare. For example, sometimes when you want to open an account, you're asked to provide some information, like, for example, your name, date of birth, and address, home address, and so on. But then there are some other optional information. For example, if they ask you, for example, for your um, phone number, there are options to provide more phone numbers as a backup. Uh, if it is optional, probably you may not you may not want to share that information as well. Especially if it is related to your identity details, like social security number, your driver's license number, and so on. And the last thing is try using trusted platforms and tools. Like if you want to download an app or something, just use your Google Play or Apple App Store and use anti-malware and antivirus on your system and scan your device regularly. Next question we received was, what should I do if someone hacks my Gmail account? Well, here is again, we discussed most of them, but here is a list of the tips. First, try to recover your account, meaning when you open your email, when you open your Gmail, you are supposed to provide a recovery email and your phone number. So if you feel that your account is compromised or hacked, you can go to the forgot password, and Google will send you a verification link to your recovery email, or send a message to your phone number, and this way it lets you reset the password and recover your account. So once you regain your access, then the first step after that is to change the password immediately, and don't reuse the password from your other accounts and websites. Next, you can review recent device logins in your Gmail. If you go to this link, um, it gives you a list of different login attempts over the past few hours or few days. So you can take a look at that list and see if any suspicious login was happened on your on your Gmail or not. If it is the case, then remove that one from the list. Next, you have to check your account recovery information. Meaning, like I said, when you open your account, you'll provide our email and your phone number, right? Sometimes when hackers have access to your Gmail, they don't change a large number of things there because they don't want you to understand that they have access to your account. The only thing they would change is they try to change your recovery email and phone number. So in future, if they change your password and you want to change your password and recover your Gmail, that recovery email and phone number is not what you intended, right? So you won't have access to your account. So as soon as you regain your access, uh, like I said, go to this link and go to your setting and make sure that the recovery email and phone numbers are correct. And if not, change them again and change your password. Next thing is to review account permission. If you go to this link, you can check the apps that have access to your Google account. Um, and what it means is sometimes uh, when you want to create an account in a website or an app, instead of writing your email information and other required information, you just ask that app or website to connect to your Gmail account or Google account, right? And by time, there would be a list of apps that have access to your Google account. Sometimes, after a while, you won't use that app or website anymore, but it still has access to your Google account. So it's a good practice to very frequently, regularly check your Google account and see if there is any apps there which is not needed. Remove that app from the list. So these are important tips. Next, you need to check the signs for tampering, meaning look for forwarding rules in the Gmail. If you go to this link, um, you can see that sometimes hackers uh, go there and put, like, for example, their own email address there. So whenever you receive an email and you want to forward that email to your other contacts and friends, one copy of that email is going to be sent to this guy as well, okay? Which you don't want to, right? So go to this link, make sure that this address, make sure that there is no suspicious forwarding rules there. Next thing you have to do is to check for filters and hidden email forwarding, sort of what I just mentioned, and then review recent sent items and trash for suspicious activities. Whenever you send an email or delete an email, that those emails will be listed under sent or under trash folders in your Gmail. Okay, so if you're not sure whether your account is compromised or not, go to the sent list and see if there is any email there which you have not any idea about it or not. Go to the trash and see if any email was sent and received and deleted or not, which is not by you. And the next thing is you have to enable, or it's better for you to enable multi-factor or two-factor authentication system. If you go to this link, you can set up a two-factor authentication for your Gmail to prevent any future attack. And the other thing is, it's a good practice to let your friends and contacts know that your account was compromised and warn them not to click on any suspicious links they may receive from your email. And then the next thing is to run a virus scan or malware scan on your device or devices that use uh, that have access to your Gmail. Because if your Gmail is compromised, there is a chance that malware or virus is going to affect your device as soon as you open an email and attach on and uh, click on something. Okay, so um, once you recover your Gmail after all these steps, it's a good practice to run a virus scan or malware scan on your devices. And finally, if you can't recover the account using the standard steps I just mentioned, you can go to this link and it helps you recover your Gmail. Next question we received was, what are the signs of suspicious email or login attempts in Gmail? Well, and here is a list of signs for suspicious email. Take a look at unfamiliar sender. Once you receive a message, an email, uh, try to see if the email address that sent that email looks familiar to you or not. Try to understand whether there is a kind of urgent or threatening language in the text of that message or not. If they're asking for your personal information, banking information or not. If there is any unusual attachment or links in that email or not. If there is any kind of spelling and grammar mistakes or kind of poor design in that email or not. Whether there is a kind of offer which seems too good to be true or not. And then keep an eye on the security warning from Gmail, from your Google, right? Because when you receive emails that are kind of suspicious, Gmail will flag those emails and warn you on that. Okay, like it says, be careful with this message. It is from a suspicious source. So if these kind of messages, if you receive these kind of messages, be give it a double thought how you want to react to that email. And the last but very useful resource here is you can take a snapshot of the suspicious email and send it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will analyze that email and let you know whether it is suspicious or not. Okay. Now, um, here is a list of suspicious login attempts, signs, review the Google security alert, email or notification that I just mentioned, login from unfamiliar device or location. So go to the list of login attempts and see if any unfamiliar device is there or not. Try to see if there was any unusual account behavior, like for example, any emails uh, sent uh, sent to your contacts, uh, but you have no idea what it is or not, or if any of your contacts are missed, or your password is changed without your knowledge or not. These kind of unusual activity would be a clear sign. And then try to see if there is any failed login attempts or not. Again, if you go to the list of login attempts, it shows you whether any attempt was there to log into your Gmail or not. And then sometimes you have your two or multi-factor authentication activated on your Gmail, and then someone tries to log into your email, you'll receive a prompt on your uh, MFA or 2FA system, which indicates that someone is trying to uh, log into your Gmail. Okay, if it is the case, then it would be a good practice, even though even though they were not successful, it would be a good practice for you to change your password. Now, the last question I'm very glad we received is what advice you can give to someone who feels left behind in today's digital world? Okay. Again, this is a list of tips. The first one is to learn about security tips for online activities, meaning this class was probably a very good first option for a first step for you, because uh, when you want to have some kind of online activities, it would be important to make sure that that step is secured enough and you're not messing up anything, right? So we already explained all these security tips. If you learn them, then feel free to use online services um, with peace of your mind, right? But one thing to kind of consider is do not kind of overstress yourself that I don't know what to do and I'm just messing up something and it would be a disaster. No, in the online world, there is no disaster. Okay. Everything can be, most of the problems could be resolved one way or the other, right? So first, learn about the security tips for online activities and what you all you need to do is go to the last session of our class and the three questions that I just uh, answered. Learn about those security tips and consider them whenever you're doing any activity online. Okay. Next, you have to start where you are and focus on one small steps at a time. Meaning, for example, you may want to say, okay, I don't know how to use email, and I want to learn how to use email, how to create an email and use it. So it would be a small step for you to learn about. Okay, small start with small steps, and then choose what matters to you more. I mean, in online world, I mean, you can think of a lot and a lot of different activities and things to learn. But what matters to you most? For example, you want to say, okay, my main concern is to stay in touch with family and friends. My main goal is for online activity is to pay my bills or do some kind of online banking, or I want to find job opportunities, or I want to read news. What matters to you most, right? Have a list of those important things for yourself, and then plan to learn uh, those things one after the other. Now, how to learn those things? You have access to free and friendly learning resources. These two resources, if you go to YouTube, there are tons and tons of uh, training stuff at different levels. For example, you want to learn how to work with your email, how to create a Gmail and use it. Okay, go to YouTube and search for how to create email for beginners, how to use Gmail for beginners. When you say for beginners, YouTube will give you a list of training videos in which some people explain very simply how to do that job. Okay, so you can go to YouTube or and you can go to this digitallearn.org. There are a lot of very useful training material for beginners on this website. So go to, for example, Digital Learn. You want to learn how to use your um, smartphone. Okay, go to the Digital Learn and find learning training material for working with the smartphone. And it explains things very easily and very simply for you. Okay, so come up with a list of important things for yourself you want to learn about. Go to these resources and search for them and learn how to do those things. Okay. Next thing is ask for help from younger relatives and friends. But in your question, I mean, don't be shy to ask questions because, for example, if I am familiar with something and if you have a problem on that, that problem looks very difficult for you, but could be very simple for me. right? So if you ask that question from me, it won't take any energy or any time from me to answer that simple question, right? So I can easily solve your problem. So ask help from, especially from younger generation, right? But in your question, try to be very specific about the problem. Okay. Because if you ask a kind of generic question, you may have a long answer, which may not be very useful for you. But if you're very specific about the question, then you receive a very clear answer about that question, and this way you can solve your problem. The other thing is don't compare yourself with others. People have their own life, have their own needs, and accordingly have their own online activities, which may not necessarily be the same as you. Okay, so don't compare yourself with others, compare yourself with yourself. For example, today, if you want to learn about the security tips, about the emails, about the smartphone, 6 months later, just uh, take a look at the past 6 months and see if you had a good progress for learning online activities or not. Compare yourself with you, not with others. And then practice without pressure. It's a good practice to set aside a certain amount of time at a day for learning. Amount of time that is possible for you. For someone, they can spend 4 hours a day to learn things. Someone may be able to spend, for example, half an hour per week. So it's up to you, but set a specific amount of time for learning, and don't be shy for asking questions, and don't afraid of mistakes. There is no mistake. Mistakes are part of our learning process. Okay. So if you make any mistake, first, uh, don't be sad and don't be frustrated. That is, it is part of the learning process, because you know that, okay, this is something that I have to avoid in online working, right? The next thing is don't be worried about mistakes, because, like I said, most of the problems could be easily solved this way or the other. So that mistake can be resolved. And the next thing is prioritize safety. Like I said, you can review our course materials. Don't uh, kind of over stress. Don't be obsessive about the safety stuff. Whatever I guess I uh, covered in our meeting so far would be enough for our daily life. So review them and make sure that you learn them. And stay positive and patient for your progress. The progress takes time. So uh, don't be rushed. Okay. These are the tips I wanted to kind of review again one more time. Hopefully, it help you. One thing to always keep in mind is you are not behind, rather, you're just on your path. And probably the first step of your path was the course that you already uh, attended, and you can continue from here. Now let's go to the next item, the file management. An organization we started last session. Best practice for file management. We already covered most of these things. So very briefly, try to use consistent naming conventions. Names of your files and documents need to be very descriptive and clear, but short and concise. Avoid using any special characters and spaces. And I explained the date formats and version control to keep track of the changes on your project. And then I explained the logical folder structure or hierarchical structure. Like I said before, would be a good practice to create a master folder first and then some subfolders for different aspects of your project. And again, a very good practice would be to have some regular maintenance and cleanup, especially when a project is done. It would be good to spend a little bit of time on your master folder, try to delete whatever you don't need anymore, and then archive whatever you may need in future with some good labels and names. And next, I already explained version control, especially when you are working on a Word file. You can turn on the track changes, and it helps you keep a track of the changes on your file. It would be a good practice to create shortcuts to have access to your documents rather than copying it everywhere. And then whenever you need uh, for example, if you have a hard copy of a document and very frequently you need to use the information of that document in your online activities, it would be a good idea to scan uh, that hard document. And what it does, it creates an image, an electronic image of that document, right? Now you can OCR that image. Then there are tons of different software and apps for doing an OCR on an image. Once you OCR the image, it changes that image to a kind of text document which can be searched and used in future. Okay, so then especially for you working on project, it would be very helpful to document your process because down the road you may receive questions about some details of how to do this and how to do that, and you may not be able to remember all the details. So try to document your process. The last thing is use cloud storage. The idea of the cloud storage is kind of received attention when we started to use different devices in our life. For example, the very first day we used to have one uh, computer at home. We used to work with that computer at home at a company, right? And we used to store all the documents and files in that computer. But then by time, uh, we had access to a variety of devices like a computer. I have a computer, for example, in the company. I have a laptop at home. I have my cell phone, other gadgets and devices. In all of them, I want to work on my documents, my files. I want to have access to all those documents and files I'm working on. Okay. So if I store everything in my computer in the company, when I'm at home and I want to work with that document, I don't have access, right? Which is not an efficient way of working. Now, people started to think about the cloud storage in which you can, for example, have a storage um, system and connect all your devices to that storage system so that when you work in the company, you can save your file and document in that cloud storage system. And then at home, when you need to continue working on that project, you can easily connect to that cloud system and open that document and file, continue working on that, and so on. So at the company, at home, when you are on trip, out of home for a vacation, whenever and wherever. So one of the beauty of this is cloud storage is enhanced accessibility, meaning anytime, anywhere on any device, you would have access to whatever you already stored in the cloud. Okay. The next beauty of the cloud storage, is seamless collaboration. Meaning, for example, you're working on a project with a team of others, and you're, for example, for some reason, for example, you're sick today and you're at home, you want to continue working on the project, Some other team members are in the company. They want to work on the project as well. So multiple people want to use a document or a file and work on that. Using this cloud storage system, you have the real-time editing ability. So you can work on the same document that your colleague is working in the company. At the same time, you can work on that and save it, and uh, that save will affect the document for both of you at the same time. Now, you have the ability of share whatever you want on your cloud storage system. For example, you're working on a document, and then you can share it with your friend and the colleague easily, and then it helps you have a kind of version history of the project. Next thing is improved security and disaster recovery, meaning there are different companies providing this cloud storage services. All of these companies, the way they work is they have many different redundant data redundancy and backup systems. Meaning, for example, they have this storage system, and then they have one uh, other backup in, for example, United States. They have another backup in, for example, Japan. They have another backup in, for example, in France. So they have multiple backups of their storage system. So for any reason, if one of their storage system is not working, you don't need to be worried because they can easily kind of connect you to one of those backups, and you have your access to the documents you want to work on. Next thing, a good thing is whatever document you're working on, as soon as you want to store it on the cloud, it is going to be encrypted by the software. So it won't be easy for others to have access and open the document you belongs to you. And the next thing is you can have a kind of access control, define a kind of access control on the document. For example, you want to work on a document and you want to share it with your colleague. Uh, the Let him just open that file and look at the changes, but you don't want him or her to be able to make any change or edit. Okay, so or you want him to be able to make whatever change or edits he or she may want. Okay, so you can define different level of access for the people that want to have access to your document and files. Next thing is you can rest assured that you're safe of kind of ransomware protection because, like I said, there are many different backups of your file. So if for any reason someone find your document and file, you can easily use a backup and don't worry about the ransomware. The other benefit is the scalability and cost effectiveness. Usually these cloud services are provided to you by very for free, for example, in Google, or with a very cheap price, so you can easily use it without any financial burden. Next thing is financial synchronization. Like I said, you can connect and synchronize multiple files and documents, and your team work on that together, which results in a kind of enhanced productivity and efficiency. Now, there are several or a lot of different companies providing these cloud storage services. These are some more common and famous ones. For example, we have Dropbox, which is provided by a company called Dropbox Inc. I guess located in San Francisco in United States. They have about 28% of this business in their hand. A good, very good, safe system. usually used in companies because of the safety measures considered in their storage system. Same as Box, which is another storage system owned by a company called Box.inc. And they have about 2% of the business on their hand, very safe, and accordingly is used by a lot of different companies because of that safety stuff. iCloud, which is provided by Apple. So if you're an Apple user, you're familiar with this iCloud. It has about 28% of the business in their hand. Very simple, very safe place to store your files and documents. The other one is Google Drive, which is very helpful if you're using with Gmails, for example, on your Google account. The good thing about it is it provides a free access for 15 gigabyte. So if you don't need more than 15 gigabyte storage place, then you can use it for free. If you need more than 15, then you have to pay for that. And then the next one is the Microsoft OneDrive, which is apparently provided by Microsoft. In all of these storage systems, you don't need to be worried about security. When I talked about the security measures on these two specifically, uh, uh, what I meant was not our daily life. Uh, I was emphasizing on the security and the level of, for example, very large companies, the security measures they need to consider for their for their proprietary information. But for our in the security level we need for our daily life, all of them are the same. So feel free to use the one which you like more. Okay. So this is all about file management and cloud storage. Now let's change gear to go to the city of Kitchener resources. If you go to your browser, search for Kitchener.ca, you can open this website. We'll open it together as well, but you can open this website and there are tons of useful resources and information available here. Basically, whatever you need as a resident of the Kitchener area, you can find it here. So what we have here is first, you can create your account. If you go to this My Kitchener, create an account with your name, your address and phone number, and you have your account so that in future, whatever you do, for example, if you register for a program, if you uh, if you want to receive notification about, for example, recreation activities in your area, uh, whatever you're interested in, you would have access to in your account, and you can keep track of the history of the work in your Kitchener account. Okay, so the first step I would highly suggest you to create an account here. Next beautiful thing here is if you're not comfortable with English and want to have access to this website on your own language, you can go to this translate. There are tons of different languages there. You can select that one, and the entire website is going to be translated into your desired language. The next thing here is if you have any problem with the website, with working with your account or whatever here, you can just contact them, and usually you receive some good support and help from them. Now, whatever you are interested in, um, you can search for it in this search bar, and it gives you a list of related items available here in this website. So use this search bar as well. But to me, more important than and you also have uh, you're also able to see a kind of recent news list of recent news here in this bar and move among the recent news. So could be updated on the news as well here. One beautiful thing here is this menu. Here is a list of all services available on this website. For example, recreation and sports, parks and trails. All the services are sort of categorized in different groups, and the title of those groups are here. So if you click on any of them, you would go to that. Let me open the website itself. Kitchener. Share. There we go. Okay. So this is the website I just explained, and this is the menu I just mentioned. Here is a list of services and support available there. Well, along with this list, if you're some people are kind of comfortable with this list or archive type of uh, access. Some people prefer icons. So if you're interested in working with icons, there is a list of icons for the services available for you as well. Meaning you have recreation and sports. Here is an icon of that service as well. Here you have parks and trails. There is an icon for that. So whatever services listed here, you have an icon for them as well. Either way, you can use those things, whether you want to go to this list or use the icons. Okay. Now, as you can see, there are many different services listed here. We'll cover some of them hopefully today. And let me see which one I wanted to first start. First one is tax and utility bills. And so if you want to pay your tax or you want to pay your bills, if you want to go down here, tax, utility, and finances. Again, like I said, you have this tax, utility, and finances here as well. So if I click on that, I would go to this the list of different services provided here. For example, if you want to pay your tax or utility bills, you can click on that, and then you can register to receive online your bills online rather than a hard copy of the bills and pay them here as well. Um, Now, if you have an account, I already explained to you and suggested you to create an account for yourself. If you have an account, then you can register for e-billing, meaning you'll receive electronic bill monthly for your utilities. And then the good thing about it is you can specify a due date for paying your bills, and also you can ask the website to send a kind of notification to you before the due date, so that each month you receive notification that okay, you receive an e-bill and it needs to be paid by, for example, July whatever 20th. Okay, so you can easily manage your uh, bills here without going out of your home. Okay, so this is one beautiful thing. You have access here. The next thing I want to discuss is the public library. If you're interested in public library, if I go back to home. Now, if you want to, for example, uh, if you move to Kitchener area and you want to see if there is any public library close to you around your home, and then you want to uh, have access to that library, find a list of programs there or whatever, just go to this Kitchener website again. Now, if you go to the categories, read the icons or go to the list, you can see that there is no public library here. It doesn't mean that the service is not provided here. It probably means that it is under one of these categories. Okay, so if you want, you can check a few of these items and find it yourself, or what you can do is if I scroll down all the way to the end of the, or let me emphasize on this one more time again, you can search the public library here, or if you scroll down all the way to the end of the page, here you can find AZ services. So if I go to AZ services, all the services available on this website uh, are listed based on their name here. So I'm looking for library. I would go to L. There we go. Here I find the libraries. Now, if I click on that, it sends me to a page where all the library in Kitchener area are available. I can, for example, if I'm interested in some learning programs, I would click on this, and then there are tons of learning stuff here. If you're not comfortable in looking on all of these items, you can make a filter. For example, I'm interested in watching um, video of learning material. So these are some uh, some videos, some kind of training videos available on this website. If I'm, for example, if I'm going somewhere and I want to listen to a podcast when I'm traveling, okay, go to listen, and then these are all the programs available for you to listen to. So this is how you can have access to the public library, again, very easily uh, from your Kitchener.ca website. The next thing I want to mention is community recreation. So again, if I'm looking for a kind of recreation in summertime, I can go to these icons, or I can go to this menu and find, for example, the recreation and sport. There are different items related to recreation, for example, pools, other recreation, art and cultural events, are a bunch of different categories available here, and you can browse among them. One other useful tool here in this website is, again, if I go all the way to the end, I can find this site map. And then what you can see here is, again, remember I had different groups of services, for example, recreation and sport, parks, pools, and so on, right? Here in sitemap, I have a list of all those services, for example, recreation and sport, parks and trails. What else? pools, council, city, and so on. So I have all those services or categories, and then a list of, let's say, the categories, and then a list of services provided under those categories. Okay, for example, if I want to see what recreation activities available in Kitchener area for example, for the summertime for my kid, I can go to this site map under recreation and sports. I can just take a look at this list. For example, there are a lot of good programs in community centers, in arenas, some sports and fitness activities. For example, uh, there are some programs for seniors, for children. So all the services available under uh, this category is listed here, and you can have access to them when needed. So this is this. Let me see if all right. Uh, there are other resources available as well here. For example, for if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for some kind of art and cultural events, whatever, we'll cover some of these items in our future sessions as well. For example, at some point, I want to talk about the job searching stuff for you. And at the time, we'll look at this, the services available here as well. But this is a kind of, I guess, overall overview of whatever available in the Kitchener website. I would highly suggest you create an account here and browse among all these services. They're very self-explanative. Don't need to be worried uh, about the activities here, the services here. If you click on any of them, you can find a list. You can also go to the site map, as said, and so on. If you have any other question or problem, you can contact them, ask for more help. I just want to show you here. Like I said, there are tons of different languages. You can translate the entire website and services into that language. The next thing I want to share, I want to discuss is an AI tool. Today, I want to very briefly start talking about ChatGPT, which is one of the most important AI tools available for free. So you can easily use it for different purposes. You can think of that as developed by OpenAI, company OpenAI, released on November 30th, 2022. To access to ChatGPT, you can just Google ChatGPT, and this website is going to open. You can create again an account, and like here, sign up for free. If you have an account, you can log in. Once you log in, it will remain logged in for a long time. So each time you can just open ChatGPT and start your search. Okay. Now here you can write whatever you want to search for. We call it prompt. So if you hear prompt from me or other training materials in future, just keep in mind that prompt means whatever you're searching for in AI tools. Okay. Now there are some other filters to refine your prompt or whatever you want to search for and help ChatGPT to provide better, more useful result for you. For example, if you want to analyze an image, if you want ChatGPT to help you write, for example, a letter, whatever you want to do, you can use these filters for a better search. Okay, and let me open ChatGPT. Like I said, you can open here or bookmark ChatGPT. And since I already logged in, I don't need to log in again. Like I said, you can search here. And the thing here is you have these tools. Like, remember when I was talking about Gemini, I explained deep research, which gives you a kind of research plan about what you search for. This is the same ability here in ChatGPT. You can deep research. If you want to create an image or edit an image, for example, uh, you have a picture of yourself and you want to create a kind of more formal picture for a company profile. You can use ChatGPT to change that uh, simple a picture of you into a kind of more formal image for your profile. Or, for example, you want to create an image uh, to be used in, for example, your Facebook, Instagram. You can use this ability here for these kind of activities. Uh, ChatGPT uh, offer this Sora as well, which is all about creating an image and videos for you. Okay, so if you go to here, you can select, for example, image. If you want to create an image, what you can do is you can uh, go to this plus sign and upload an image from your device. And then once it is uploaded, what you can do is you can uh, right here, for example, if I select this one and then write, for example, remove the dog, okay, it will do that. And then if you click on this remix, it will remove the dog from this image and so on. Okay, so it is a very simple tool for you to edit your images without paying to the company. Now, if you have videos and you want to uh, kind of edit your videos, or if you want to create your videos, then you can use the same the Sora again. For most of the videos, you need to pay. Is not free, but image edition and creation is usually free. So this is a very useful tool for you who are interested in working on your image and videos. The one thing I want to mention here is the importance of the prompts. I'll go back to this one. What is a good prompt? Meaning, for example, when you want to search for something, what need to be considered in your search for a better result? Okay, for example, if I say, what is the best vehicle? Okay, ChatGPT will search and give you an answer. It will give you a list of best cars uh, based on different requirements, based on different criteria. Okay, but the question is, when you said what is the best car, what do you mean by best? What do you have in your mind? Are you looking for a car with the best kind of, for example, acceleration, sporting features? Are you looking for the best safety features? Are you looking for the best appearance? What else? Are you looking for the best price? So when you say what is the best vehicle, it is very generic. Think of yourself when you want to work with AI tools. Think of yourself. If someone asks you what is the best vehicle, how you want to answer that? Is it easy for you to come up with an answer? Or you would say, okay, I mean, friend, this is too generic. I mean, give me some more tips, give me some more information, what you're looking for, and I can better assist you, right? So if it is too generic, AI tools will give you some answer, but you may not be able to find whatever you were looking for in the answer because your question was too generic. Now, what if I change it, for example, what is the best SUV, let's say gas, for example, SUV uh, under
Uh,
50,000.
Doctor, we can't see your.
Sorry. Sorry. All right. Sorry. Can you see my screen now? ChatGPT screen.
Yes.
All right. Sorry. I try to remember change the sharing material here, but please, whenever you can see what I'm talking about, please let me know, and I'll change the sharing material. Now, like I said, if you just search for what is the best material, ChatGPT will search and give you a list of best vehicles based on different criteria. For example, what is the best electric vehicle? What is the best truck? What is the best SUV? But the problem is, like I said, um, there is, since you haven't defined any criteria or you didn't provide any more information on what you mean by best, it just finds something for you, not necessarily uh, answer your question appropriately. But if I can be more specific in my question, for example, if I say, what is the best gas SUV under 50K? Okay, then the answer would be much more useful because it would consider my filters and search uh, based on the filters or based on the things that are important for me. Okay, so this is important to consider when you are searching for something. Your prompt should be very specific, as more specific as you can. So let me go back to my slide here. So how I can get the best answer or what is a good prompt? Here are a few tips. You have to consider the task, meaning what would you like to be done? When you're writing a prompt, when you're searching for something, you need to think about what would you like to be done, meaning you're asking the AI tool to help you write a story, help you solve a math problem, uh, edit your image, find a movie list or what. And try to be specific on the task you want it to do. The other thing you have to consider is the context, meaning why you need this task performed, right? For example, I want to edit my image to be used to be used in my company profile, or I want to create an image or edit my image to be used in my Facebook or Instagram, right? The context would matter. So in your prompt, try to specify the context uh, of what you're searching for. Sometimes it would be very useful if you provide some example. If you show an example, then that AI tool will figure out what you want to see, right? For example, when you are creating an image, or for example, when you are asking it to write a story or a letter, just provide a very short paragraph of that letter you're looking for, and the AI tool will try to understand how formal that letter needs to be based on the example, and then create a letter for you um, in that level of formality, right? Same as the personas. For example, if you're using the AI to complete a science project, or making something for leisure, right? Ask it to speak like that. For example, if you are asking an AI tool to create some slides that you want to present in a seminar, okay, or you're asking it to help you find some information to be shared with your friends. So the personas could be defined and considered by the AI tool. Now the format can be defined as well. For example, here, let me share this guy. When I search for the best vehicle under whatever, under 50K, it gives me a list of the vehicles, right? But I would love to see all these selected items in a table, right? So I would say, give me a table. There we go. It collects all those information in a table, and you can easily compare those vehicles based on the features they have. Okay, so you can define your, let me go back to the slide. You can define the formats in which you want to receive the result of your search. And the last thing is the tones, how formal the result need to be. Again, like I said, you want to receive some information in a very journalistic way, or very fun, or very serious, or whatever. So based on, if you consider all these tips in your prompt, and try to be very specific in your prompt, you'll receive very helpful result from your AI tools. That's it for today. So next session, we'll continue with the answering the questions, and then we'll move to the government services online available in Ontario region, and continue with some other useful features of the ChatGPT. So by then, I want to thank you again for joining, and hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
Dr. Vahabi.
Sir, we're happy.
And thank you for all this enthusiasm and engagement today. You've taken an important step forward with becoming more connected with your community, with the skills you've learned today. With the wealth of Kitchener's resources is now at your fingertip. Whether you're looking to join the fitness class, access the library materials, or connect with city services, your willingness to embrace these digital tools opens doors to greater community participations and enrichment. We're grateful to Dr. Hamed Vahabi for his patient, clear instructions in navigating these digital platforms. His ability to make technology accessible ensures that no one is left behind in our increasingly connected city. The Canadian Helper Society thanks the City of Kitchener for their partnerships in delivering this program and for their ongoing commitment to digital inclusion. We encourage you to practice what you've learned today and explore the many opportunities our city offers online. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy discovering all that Kitchener has to offer.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.